Okay, let's put effects on something. Now remember that even though these are called audio effects, they can go on MIDI tracks as well as audio tracks. Just fine. Um, for example, let's do something really obvious like an echo. Okay, an echo is what Ableton calls kind of a big delay. It's a specialized delay, but it's a big delay. So let's put that on here. Okay, so I'm just going to drag the effect right over, and just like instruments, I could open this up and get some presets, which are also sorted, or I could just drag the default on there, or hit return, and it'll go right on the selected track. So now you'll see here how my signal flow is working. My MIDI information is coming in here. It's going to contact, which is my instrument in this case. Okay, so it's kind of a bad track to put this on, but that's okay. So this is my instrument, and this is converting it to an audio signal. So we see the audio signal here. Okay, and now the audio signal is going into the effects. If I want to move this effect to be before the instrument, it's not going to let me do it. It can only go after the instrument because audio effects need to affect audio. That's why we call them audio effects. So it has to be after the instrument because the instrument is converting the MIDI to audio. Okay, so now we have our effect. We can play around with it. And then we're going out here. If I want to add more effects, let's do like a distortion. There's a big noisy distortion. I can put another one. And it goes in the sequence of effects at the end. Now, the order of your effects does matter. So in this case, what's going to happen is our signal is going to go through the delay and then through the distortion. Okay? It might be that we want to change the sound to have it go through the distortion first and then the delay. In this case, that's not going to be a huge difference, but sometimes the order of effects will make a huge amount of difference. So let's say I want it to go through the distortion first. All I have to do is take the distortion and move it over there. Okay, now the signal is going to go through the distortion, then through the echo. Let's solo this. Okay, big noisy. Let's try an even more extreme distortion. Okay, what's going to happen here is we're going to go through this distortion, through this echo, and then through another distortion. There we go. Cool. Now, what happens if I want to use the same effect again? I totally can. Now we're going through this distortion, and then we're going through that distortion again. So, super duper distortion. Kind of like that. Let's hear that in context. Gnarly, but I kind of dig it. Okay, you can bypass an effect easy with this little yellow circle right here. Clicking on it will just turn that effect off and pass the signal right through it. Okay, so in this case, this distortion is off. So the signal is going to go from here, it's going to pass straight through it without doing the effect to there. So we're still going to get signal. Okay. So that's the basics of how effects work. If I want to get rid of effect completely, just click on the top bar and press the delete key. It's going to get rid of it. Um, and it works exactly the same on audio tracks, except we don't have the instrument in our way. Here I've already put a channel EQ on this track, but I've turned it off. So I can turn it back on here. Okay, here it is on, here it is off, right? Now, what we probably want to do is be able to automate this, right? So let's talk about automating our effects a little bit more. We've already automated volume, but let's automate effects now.